Top of the action. They tend to fade out at night. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your culture. ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
You got a campaign ending in chaos, and you got another campaign that was able to deploy 90,000 volunteers to knock on 3 million doors. Guys, the better campaign is going to win this one.
He's going to lose. It's not even going to be that close, actually. So I know everyone's talking about how close it's going to be, but they're just underrepresenting the women, and they're over-calculating because they've been embarrassed, the pollsters, twice.
What are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
He's never going to be president of the United States. Thank God he's not going to be that.
First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
And he's asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, she's going to win this, right? He says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not.
The math has shown Donald Trump has no chance of winning in November of 24. He wouldn't even win Georgia.
Even though Donald Trump is going to claim victory, yeah, within a few hours, you're going to find out that's nonsense and that he lost badly.
All right, here it is, everybody. My final map. But I have to say, I'm not shy about putting 349 electoral votes in the lap of Harris. It's going to be a blowout.
Would people, in the light of this and all else that happened after the 2020 election, going to vote for him this time, who didn't the last time? Hard to believe.
We are one day away from this election, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. This guy is a loser. He's fat. He's pathetic. He doesn't know where he is. He's confused. He's dazed. And I think people are going to see through that. And, a lot of these macho, guys, I don't think they think it's macho to attack women, attack Puerto Ricans. I mean, I don't think they're or blacks or anything else.
If you nominate Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, Joe Biden will win and Kamala Harris will become president. That's a fact. If Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee, we will get a President Kamala Harris. You mark my words. He cannot win a general election. Donald Trump will not win the general election. You can have him win any primary you want. He will not win a general election. We will have a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
All right, this election alert means we are getting to our first big poll closing. Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania, NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes. Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. Is this?
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl.
It's time for a smoke break.
David Johnson, Monday and Thursday on Happy Hour. Next to Thespian Fields, Tuesday Spotlight. twirls, hanging out in the chat will change your world. Happy hour. Happy hour.
On happy hour.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
As they say in show business, here goes nothing. Still got a drag going on from the big holiday weekend. Tom Moore has saved my ass today. He is our sidekick. David Blackman is out. And here they are. He may call in. I have not heard from him yet. So we're hoping. How are you?
Good. It is good to be here. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Tell us about the fjords and the things you did.
Man, I tell you what, it was a nice vacation. You know, sometimes you have vacations and then sometimes you have adventures. And this was an adventure. It was a lot of travel, but it was good. We flew into London, got to spend a couple days there, then sailed off to Norway for 7 days, and then came back to Southampton, which is the port that the Titanic sailed out of, and then checked out Stonehenge, and then went back to London for a little more fish and chips, and then
you're like Clark Griswold.
Brought it back to America for some fireworks. But I did bring you back some of Norwegian's finest chocolate.
Oh no!
And it's of size that you need to share with your significant other. So some good old Norwegian chocolate.
I don't see that as a shareable size, to be honest with you. When it comes to chocolate, I'll do my best.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Thank you. I love souvenirs like this.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been all over the world. Alaska's beautiful, but I tell you what, those fjords of Norway, gorgeous. Highly, highly recommend.
When you were in London, did you see any of the things that we keep hearing about over here?
So I had been to London once before, but just for a short time. It was actually a military trip for a memorial reunion, but I became quite enamored with the city. It's got a great vibe.
Yeah.
Great food, great people, lots of history. Had a great time there. Got to go to Tower of London, which I had never been to before. Enjoyed that.
I toured that.
Yep. Got to, it was great just to go to the pubs and talk with people and enjoy the matches on the big screen and walk around. And what was most, I think, shocking, London has 10 million people in it. And we were there a total of like 3 or 4 days. And one time we saw 2 police riding on horseback. And other than that, never saw any police walking around other than at Buckingham Palace. The 4 days that we were there, not a single murder, didn't hear anything about crime. And yet back home, we had like 4 or 5 murders in the time that we were going on vacation. So I'm like, how can a town of 190,000 people, we've had 5 murders in a week, and London has, you know.
Did you hear about the newlyweds?
Yeah, so Bo Holt's son and his daughter-in-law, who is from England, had been here like a month, gets shot at 2 a.m. in their own home. Don't know who did it, why it, certainly had nothing against them. And then, of course, last night we have a 6-year-old that tragically loses her life in another drive-by.
Yet I saw a video clip. I watched as much as I could before I vomited. And he's out there talking about our racist past. How about our racist president? Our racist present.
Right.
Our president is not a racist. He's done more for people of color than anybody since Ronald Reagan. By lifting the economy out of the doldrums and all that. Apparently, there's no such thing as, I don't know if I want to get bogged down in this, but you talk about outrage, and I posted that story on Facebook, and because they needed some help. So far, there's been no call for financial help.
But it was great that you helped to get their pups up to Birmingham, and that was awesome. It's great to see people come together.
Audience. That's this audience. They always come through. They're fantastic, and there's always somebody who is ready to, help out when there's people in distress. That couple, they can't go back to that house that they were shot in. I don't know if they're both out of the hospital. I know she's going to have some seriously long recovery with the leg wound, shot just above the knee. In your house. That's Montgomery. She left London because she didn't feel safe there. She left Great Britain because she didn't feel safe there. And then comes here and they hear a noise, wake up to see what's going on, and bullets come flying through. Outrageous. But our mayor's got to make another speech about our racist past. Why don't you quit reminding everybody of, here's an idea. If you have a spare 2026 calendar, send it to them. It's not 1955 anymore, okay? All right? The only people that are doing business with the Klan are the SPLC and trying to stir up hate, whatever they can to keep themselves in business. That, I don't even know why they're still open. Why has the IRS not revoked their 501c status? That's when the donations will dry up.
Right.
And to think that they're, out there facilitating hate to create incidents that they can fundraise. That building should have been bolted and out of business already, and I don't understand what the delay is. I don't know what I'm missing there. So, yeah, lots of excitement here.
It's just, I've been preaching about the crime here for, God, it seems like 2 years now. And I think folks are finally realizing that it is a systemic problem, that the mayor's not contributing anything. We're on the eve of a city council meeting. So tomorrow, Mayor Reed is going to show up, and he is proposing a $375 million bond for the city to fund his civic center that he wants. So here it is. We have, all these drive-bys and murders. And
what do we need that for?
Yeah, so the city already spent $5 million to buy the old paper, the building, the register.
Building.
Yeah, the advertiser, downtown. So that's where he wants to put it. This bond is sprinkled with a couple city improvements, but the majority of this bond, of the $375 million, is to fund his civic center. And it's like, I tell people our annual city budget for the police is $62 million, but we're only spending half of it because we only have half of the officers.
Mm-hmm.
So that money turns out to fallout money that he wants to spend on his attractions. And there's just so many other things that the city needs funding on: infrastructure, safety, education, and it's just, I think, I read so much online and print and talk to people, and as the days grow older, more and more people are getting frustrated. You're seeing new people want to be city council members. You see people already talking about running for mayor next year. So
we don't need a $375 million civic center.
No.
For what? I happen to know of a situation, somebody who was given the chance to open a fine dining establishment where the Capital City Club used to be in the RSA Tower. And I was asked my opinion. And I said, don't do it. Nobody's going downtown at night for the greatest restaurant in the world because they don't feel safe.
Right.
And that's the truth.
I try and get into Mayor Reed's head, and so his logic is that if you build attractions, people will come to Montgomery. But what he doesn't realize that if the city's not safe, people aren't going to want to come here, be it a whitewater park or restaurants or just to live here. It's not a destination city. And so if you want people to come here and stay here, you have to have a foundation of safety. So let's focus on that first, and then you can worry about civic centers and soccer games and matches. And
I don't know why this was allowed to happen. I have to blame the city council.
Well, they're putting it up for a vote tomorrow, and so hopefully the council votes it down, because that is a massive amount of money, and it's spending on the wrong.
I'm sick of funding initiatives, his 8,000 trips a year to attend conferences, the black mayors. That shouldn't even be legal. That sounds like segregation to me.
Yeah.
I thought the whole idea was about everybody, Nah, that's not the goal at all. And now we have communists. Trump called it a cancer, but the problem is it's metastasizing. And one of the women that was running for the Democratic Senate nomination in Michigan dropped out. So now they've got a full-on Muslim who will likely end up with that nomination. And at another time, I might have laughed and said, no chance, not Michigan. Michigan is still a big state, outdoors, small towns. But with Minnesota, being the way it is, I don't know what to believe. I mean, they've. Let's grab this call and see.
Yeah.
Who wants to start us off this afternoon at 2729228? Who's this?
Well, Mr. Budell, this is James.
James, we're starting off on an erudite note this afternoon.
Tell me something.
Hmm.
This is how out of touch I am. The Whitewater Park is still open, right? And booming business. The
Yeah.
people are standing in line.
Yeah.
And the cars are backed out all the way to the interstate.
I can't leave my house some days, and I'm 5 miles away because of the traffic.
It was closed for a short time with some water issues.
Somebody pooped in the pool.
It wasn't the Baby Ruth this time.
No.
It was the real deal. But no, it was closed for a short time. The problem with the Whitewater Park is it's a small thoroughput, meaning you can only put so many people on the water at a short time. Now it's a build as you grow project, but the amount that the city invested in that, they won't ever see that profitable. And
That's because you got politicians framing business decisions and not businessmen trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
You said earlier.
Maybe we can hire another ex-con or somebody, with a sordid past to solve our problems.
Montgomery is not a destination city. Henceforth, the Whitewater Park thing.
James, I have to. I don't want to start an argument with you, but I have to disagree. If you are thirsting to see man's inhumanity to man, the cruelness that men can inflict on each other, the hatred that people can foist on each other through history, this is the place to come.
This is the place to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
So
why would I argue that point? But $375 million. I wonder how much of that money is earmarked for somebody's pocket.
Half.
Yeah.
So what you tell me is half of that, you and I, if we had the money in hand, we could go out and build this, civic center for half of this.
But what do we don't need it.
That is, unless, of course, you have a bevy of people that are coming to, I can't even put all the words together that you just said. Then they could go to the Whitewater Park and then to this civic center.
We got to change the name of that park, too. Maybe that's the problem. White. It's got white in it. I mean, I'm just...
That's a possibility. I won't even... Well... Mr. Budell, other than that, we survived the 250th birthday of this country.
Hey, can I ask you this? Both
Yeah,
of
of
you,
course.
you and Tom. I saw something, I think it was on Fox, that said a huge number of Democrats say that Trump ruined the 4th of July. How did he do that? What did he do that ruined the 4th of July, other than being in office? And
That's absurd.
Your TDS won't let you... I was the perfect president for the 4th of July.
Did you go to Walmart and get your USA 250 shirt made in China?
No, I did get a patriotic shirt. I wore it at the Cloverdale Idlewild 4th of July celebration, which, by the way, was a wonderful event. Again, Charlie Colvin, you're the man. You and your wife are fantastic people. It's a privilege to know you. And you just did a beautiful, beautiful job. It was simple, humble, perfect for the occasion.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
No, it was, we all had the same complaint. It was hotter than hell. And there was no air movement. And I was just praying, Rich Thomas, send us a fat ass cloud to float over and block the sun. That's all I need. You don't have to send rain. Just send one big pudgy cloud to block the sun. And boy, Friday and Saturday were really, really about as. I went to the drone show in Prattville.
Oh,
Friday
nice.
night. I'd never been to one of those, and I loved it. I might have made some changes to the program, but it was a great idea by the city of Prattville. And again, I want to compliment city management because they have a police department there. And guess what? They had more than enough police, not only for securing the event, but to guide the traffic out when it was over. And in that heat, people's tempers can get short. No problem whatsoever. Magnificent. And then if you want me to consult you on how to make the program better, I'll be happy to talk.
Yeah, we had never been to the fireworks in Prattville, and we went on the 4th of July up to Prattville and at the clock tower, and it was great. Had food trucks in the parking lot, and like you said, police presence. And
4th of July Prattville Parade is one I've been in many times, and I miss not going to those. I don't know why we're not, but Prattville loves us.
Why did the city move from the river to Crampton Bowl for the fireworks this year?
What do you think?
We didn't go because I just didn't feel safe. You know?
No, not Crampton Bowl.
Right.
Sorry. No, we used to have it at the waterfront downtown.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
In fact,
that seemed like a much better venue for
over the
groups.
river.
Yeah.
You could have had it at the ballpark. The team was out of town. You could have put 8,000 people in there. Everybody, with enough seating. No, we couldn't do that. So we put it in a dumpy old football stadium that was baked cement for in 95-degree heat. But I think that was by design.
Yeah.
Again, the mayor's pulled no punches about it's our city now. Okay. How do I get out?
Well, there's a lot of new housing in Prattville, Mr. Budell, if you're looking for a location.
I always thought, first of all, I would have to cut back to one show a day if I were going to move out of Montgomery. But I've always had this thing. This goes back to Bobby Bright. Although, shame on me, I didn't realize in his time, and I did like Todd Strange. We got along great because I really do believe they had the city's best interests at heart. I may not have always agreed with what they were doing. I single-handedly compelled Mayor Bright to give the police a raise when he was running for re-election back in 2007, I think it was. Because we weren't attracting cops then because our starting salary was very low. Or we would train them and then lose them to towns that were paying better salaries.
Right. Or the sheriff's office.
The Autauga Sheriff was at our show not long ago. They have a waiting list of people to join the force. And folks want a career in law enforcement where they know city leadership has their back. James, have I anesthetized you into a coma?
Oh, no, I'm just listening. Oh, my bad. That was somebody else jumped on here. You just never know. But no, I'm just listening. Mr. Budell, you gentlemen have a nice afternoon, and I may go back and take another nap.
It's a good day for it.
Well, I didn't mean to put you in.
No. You know us Hispanic people, man. We like a siesta now and then,
It's good for you. You got to get ready for the match tonight, so rest up.
The match, USA.
USA versus Belgium, the big one.
How did I miss that? I was.
Oh, and that's another thing. Now they're mad at Trump because he made a phone call, and they rescinded the red card, so the guy can play tonight. Belgium had a chance to appeal that. They were overruled. So our best player is going to be on the field tonight. And they're bitching at Trump for that.
I saw that headline on Fox. I said, the left's upset about it. It's like, that's what leaders do. They look out for their people. And here's the thing.
Lord.
It was a bad call.
Yeah.
We already suffered a penalty. So we played a half of a match without our best player and still won. So he was out. Nothing that happened with Belgium. So why should he be out versus Belgium? And if you're Belgium, do you want to win when you said, we beat America without one of their better players?
I would agree with you right there. That's so true.
That's like Belgium, tries to refute it this morning or appeal it. It's like, okay, you're that scared of America where you got to have a player down, no, it was a bad call. So it was not called at the time. They did a slow-mo replay, which they're not supposed to do. It's supposed to be at full speed. and it got rescinded, and it should be. And so good on Trump for looking after his home team.
You should be proud of a president that looks out.
Yeah.
You know, the
Biden would have
cares.
fallen asleep and looked the other way. He'd be like, football? We're playing football?
You believe all the travel that Trump did this with? The guy can't stop. And then today, the Trump accounts. What other president did that for us and for our kids?
You know, he's only got, what is it, a year and a half? Those people that want to get in the window from this point forward, you know, they got to, get married and get out there, right?
All these show business suckers with their, I can't play, you know, I don't want to politicize. We got a real mental problem in Hollywood. They're just beyond help. It's sad.
I had a definitely
Thanks, James.
Yeah, I definitely had a great sense of pride this weekend seeing all the ships go by, the flybys. The DC did a great job, and I know it was a little hampered by the weather, but
I noticed the F-35s are flying out of. They were active, and I guess they were going to different.
Yeah, it was crazy when the fireworks started in Prattville. I said, Deem, that's my wife. I said, look, there's 4 F-35s flying over by. And I was like, was this planned? And I was like, what flyover they were doing? And then I've got friends up at the lake. So they were just raging. There was a 4-ship of them just raging over the lake and hot dogging it. And
yeah.
But yeah, it, you know, regardless of how you feel about the president, you still have to have pride in your country and the flag. And
I have endured the anger, the frustration, the piss on America approach for 12 years. From the clearly anti-American Barack Obama and the clearly I have no idea who I am or what I'm doing, Joe Biden. If I can live with that, you could put up with a couple of years of Donald Trump. And the fact is, you stole the election in 2020. You could have had his second term over with, and you could have been trying to institute communism some other way. It's stunning how ignorant people. I put up a thing. It's easy to be a communist in a free country. It's not easy to be free in a communist country.
yeah, absolutely.
In fact, you're just not. Why there are people buying into this, I have no idea.
I was talking to a gal at church yesterday. Her name is Kay, just a sweet lady. Her father served in World War II, and we were talking about that. And she was talking about the socialism movement. And I said, it just shows that our youth is so gullible that they see a lot of get-rich-quick schemes like Bitcoin or social media influencers. And so everything sounds easy. And when somebody's saying, oh, free grocery stores and free this, and it sounds great on paper, but socialism never works. But it surprised me these folks are getting elected, and it's not onesie-twosies. We're talking double digits now.
Well, it was the official platform of the Nazi Party in Germany. Why are the Republicans not pointing that out? The National Socialist Party. That's what. Oh, and by the way, we have breaking Nazi news. Right static. Graham Plattner's ex is accused him of rape. Says the main Senate hopeful was very drunk and wouldn't take no for an answer. So it looks like he's going to be exiting the race.
Really?
Yeah. David Blackman has been busy blogging. He got drunk, broke into a former girlfriend's house when she asked him not to come over, and forcibly raped her. Wow. Politico reported Monday afternoon that a former girlfriend of the Democrat, don't we believe all women? Aren't we supposed, unless that's, somebody that's not going to help the narrative. A woman who dated Maine U.S. Senate candidate Plattner says he forced her to have sex with him nearly 5 years ago, despite her repeated objections. The woman, a 41-year-old Maine resident named Jenny Reckott, detailed the alleged incident to Politico in 3 interviews over the last 2 weeks. Politico also spoke with a man that she dated and confided in the years after the incident and reviewed documents, including emails between the woman and her therapist and messages between the woman and an acquaintance whom she warned against getting involved with Plattner years before he ran for office. But this is the chutzpah of the Democratic Party. Well, he's not that way anymore. How could somebody like that even have a chance?
My favorite is he's like, oh, I didn't know what that tattoo was. It's like, do you go into a tattoo shop and it's like, I'd like this skull and bones on my chest. And, these these Nazi troops. It was like the SS, the ones that ran the concentration. Could you make it look like that? It just shows your ignorance. If you're going into a tattoo shop and you're asking for a tattoo that you don't know what it is, I mean, that's just the icing on the cake.
I think there's laws prohibiting them from doing tattoos on people who are inebriated or obviously
right,
not in control. Anyway, I will say this. By the way, we also will spend the afternoon trying to figure out if Mitch McConnell is dead or alive. There's good reason to believe he ain't. David Blackman on that one, too. So David's presence will be felt today, but we're great. We're gratified to have Tom Moore with us. And everything's on the table, but I would like to spend a little more time on the local stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We could still touch on Jackson Hospital. That's a good one.
That was a nice piece of news over the weekend. And but I will be having a surgery at Baptist.
I heard on the 16th.
Yes.
That's like a Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have no idea at this point. I know I'm going to be off the 16th and 17th. I may have to zoom in to the show for a day or two. I don't know.
Is this you're going to be under?
Yeah.
And then do you have to stay overnight or is...
I have a one-night stay at the ICU for this because it's not a high-risk procedure, but it does involve an aneurysm, so I guess they want to keep you fully monitored. Just knock me out for the whole time, please.
Are you nervous or apprehensive about
I'm nervous about what am I going to smoke? Who's going to sneak me vapes? Who's going to put a patch on me for the while I'm resting in the ICU?
You might be a little twitchy.
Yeah, and surly.
We're going to have to send in some live entertainment.
My surly level goes up when I'm deprived. So there you go. That story just breaking, and I'm sure we'll have.
That would be great. He just doesn't seem like somebody that represents the country. I just think there's better choices, but that would be great if he did drop out. So you think that's official?
He hasn't announced it yet, but
hard to walk away from that one.
And if they have to, the Democrats will send one of their godfathers in to have a little conversation with him. But how did he even get there to begin with? Because Democrats have no standards, or they're very low.
The curmudgeons of the world.
Well, Tip O'Neill was curmudgeonly, corrupt as hell, but curmudgeonly, and ultimately came around to do, especially when he worked with Ronald Reagan, some good stuff. But for the most part, corrupt as hell. Isn't that right, Mr. Reed? So let's talk about Montgomery Men's Health for a moment. I'll tell you the one of the things that gets you through the heat. I know it was wilting, deflating, and for a man age 35 or higher with a low T, you're actually at risk in that kind of heat. No energy. Your body is working too hard to process those kinds of conditions. Montgomery Men's Health has turned life around, and quickly, for thousands of men here in the River region, by beginning with overall men's health. And for a guy, that's the testosterone level. And if it's low, here's the good news. It can be fixed quickly, and you can go through the rejuvenation. What do you think gets me on the bicycle in this hot weather? Got my bike back. Thank you, Build, Tune, Ride in Wetumpka. You guys are fantastic. That energy comes from just being properly balanced, and Montgomery Men's Health took care of that. I'm so glad I took that test a few years back, and now they monitor and make sure that it's where it needs to be. It affects everything from quality of sleep, burning of calories, to libido, and for issues like ED and PE, there are solutions available for those that don't involve pills. Don't buy into the ridiculous promises you see in online ads. They're crap. It's garbage. This is medical. Montgomery Men's Health is a medical facility for men, their issues, and it's run by a board-certified urologist. So there's no gas station magic here. This is all about medicine and making adjustments and solving problems with techniques and solutions that aren't widely known, but they're all FDA approved. So if you had a lackluster weekend or it's been a while, guys, what are you waiting for? 334-440-3663 is the number, or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That is MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Here is the skipper.
We have a new accident, West South Boulevard, right near a state drive. That is just off West Boulevard. Please use caution there. Also, Troy Highway at Bell Road had an accident reported there. And on Highway 80, just before Highway 31, Mobile Highway, if you're inbound, watch out for a minor one there. Light to moderate building afternoon traffic. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can find 0% financing on most new Nissans. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A boat caught fire on Lake Martin Saturday night during 4th of July celebrations. The makeshift motorless boat was being used as a platform to launch fireworks. Marine Patrol responded to the scene, put out the fire, and recovered the vessel. No injuries were reported. Authorities are seeking the boat's owner. A black bear was hit by an automobile Sunday afternoon in Elmore County. The incident happened near the intersection of Highway 14 and Fire Tower Road, just outside the Wetumpka city limits. The black bear suffered severe injuries. Officials with the Alabama Wildlife Division euthanized and buried the bear. A tanker truck explosion in Hope Hall led to the shutdown of an I-65 ramp Saturday afternoon. Smoke could be seen for miles as the fire caused the I-65 South exit ramp to Highway 31 to be closed for hours. Several area fire departments assisted to extinguish the fully involved fire. No injuries have been confirmed. The tanker was carrying about 9,000 gallons of gasoline. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyta and online at BudgetFloorsMGM.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Pizza Perfect is carrying over the $10 buffet for July. They also have the perfect deal to feed your family tonight. Order any large pizza and get an order of boneless wings free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet, including pizza, spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, and it's only $10 in July. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Buy any large pizza, get an order of boneless wings on the house at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook, pickup and delivery.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. It is a different weather pattern in that the temperatures will be down just a tad, but radar will be much more active. High temperature in the lower 90s today with a sun and cloud mix and scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. They tend to fade out at night, overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I'm Jeff Bezos. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. If you're like me, you spent the holiday on your mega yacht with your smoking hot wife in an American flag bikini. Eat your heart out, Betsy Ross. America's the greatest country in the world. Where else could a nerd like me with only a few $100,000 in seed money from my parents go on to completely dominate retail sales, putting countless stores out of business, whilst amassing an obscene fortune that allowed me to obtain a mega yacht and a smoking hot wife in an American flag bikini that's so skimpy there was only room for 1 star and half a stripe. USA! USA! USA!
Sorry, Jeff, but you're still number 2 to Elon. Have you seen the Vigilante movie that he's been
I have not.
posting? I haven't either. I'd like to check it out. But I think it kind of captures a lot of the frustration with big cities. You know, you got 2 fresh commies running in New York. Somebody won one in Colorado. And I mentioned this Senate race where you have an Islamo commie running. Your garden variety Democrat, one of them dropped out before the primary. So I can't believe that 250 years. In the meantime, all of South America now is just about red. Thanks to Donald Trump.
Right.
I heard a story too today that Cuba, they're
blackout. Yeah, I heard total blackout.
We'll be happy to help. If you're ready to, if you've had your run, communism works so well for them, right? And other than limited food and not having a new car for the last 70 years, it's paradise there. If you're visiting,
got some great cigars I hear.
Yeah, yeah. Are they still illegal?
They are. Yeah.
Well, all of that could change. The world is responding to Donald Trump. Countries are getting rid of their fascist dictators, and the doors of freedom are swinging wide open. Meantime, thanks to the Democrats and media outlets like The View may stop bringing political people on completely because the FCC has, I think, logged 2,400 and some violations.
Wow.
Because ABC says it's a news show. Really? I mean, that's on the service is just astonishing. Always screaming about something. What did Joy Behar say? They don't want to live in a country run by that. Yeah, well, then get the F out. Quit your bitching, put your mouth where your money is, and something like that, and go. But they're all finding out, and those, I'm going to set the example, Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres, they are miserable in their other countries. How nice, how refreshing that Americans get to listen to visiting foreigners saying, you got an amazing place here.
Right. Yeah, we were in Norway, like we talked about earlier, and and their team is just having a great run. Their star player loves it here. It was funny when we were, you know what the income tax in Norway is? 70%.
Yeah, it's high in the Scandinavian.
They said there's no really reason to
But
hustle.
they get free health care.
And free college for their kids.
Oh.
But then he said, we tried to give him a tip. We did this huge hike up to Pulpit Rock, and we had an amazing tour guide. And we tried to give him a tip. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm good. He's like, there's no reason to hustle. He's like, if you give me $10, I got to give 7 of it to the government. So it's like, he said it's just a forever middle class there. But people are happy, and the weather was a nice change from the Gump. But yeah, it's great to see all of these foreigners come and appreciate America. And
why don't you update us on the game that's going on now?
Yeah, so right now we've got Portugal versus Spain. Cristian Ronaldo obviously is on Portugal, tied up, about 4 minutes left in the match. Whoever wins this match will play the winner of America and Belgium tonight on Saturday.
Okay.
So our big match is tonight against Belgium. We're into the round of 16 knockouts, so whoever wins these matches today makes it into the semifinals. But yeah, it's been great. One thing about soccer that I've appreciated is the kind of sense of camaraderie and sportsmanship. They bring kids out at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The players hold their hands and they sing their national anthem. The players seem to help each other, like if they get a sprain. I don't know. It's been fun I've never been a huge soccer guy.
Neither have I, but it's like Rich Thomas. He's not a big soccer guy, but he hasn't missed a minute of these.
My daughter plays a lot of soccer. I played a little growing up, but I'm a big fan of live sports, and there's not a whole lot else going on right now. And obviously, USA's been doing really well. So,
well, the Yankees. Oh my goodness,
the Yankees.
I got to admit, I had a really tough time falling asleep last night, so I came in for the morning show today absolutely under-rested. I did get a little nap in between these two shows, but I'm still not quite there yet. I'm such a disciplined person.
Yep, me too.
That when they're like a day off is a nice thing to have. It's nice to have Friday. But anything longer than 2 days, it's like rust sets in.
Got to oil the joints up, get back into it.
Yeah.
I got to thank Rich. I had planned on mowing last night after dinner. We had our folks over, and it just came down in sheets. So then I was going to mow, after I got home today, and, Rich is like, hey, you just never know when these things are going to pop up. And obviously it looks like it's going to rain this afternoon. So I got my mowing around lunchtime. I almost passed out, but thanks, Rich, for reminding us that afternoons are not the best for mowing. So
my friend Sandy has a question for you.
Oh,
are you going to run for mayor?
I am not. If I did, I would win. I would promise you that. I'm just busy with a lot of other things. I'm a member of A Better Montgomery, and I will adamantly support whoever they push forward. I think there's going to be some really strong candidates, and I will reassure every listener and everyone in Montgomery, Mayor Stephen Reed will not be reelected. I promise you that. I will spend if it's my last dying breath, I will make sure that we get a new leader in Montgomery.
Look, we all know, not just in American history, but through the course of history, there were terrible injustices, terrible things that happened to all kinds of people. Nobody's been immune from historical acts of barbarism and so forth. Although apparently it's still okay if you're a Democrat to be completely anti-Semitic and hate Jews. Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, you know what? He might have been enough to countermand the insanity of Kamala Harris to make that ticket respectable last year. Could have been much tighter. But he's Jewish. We can't have that.
I think you'll see him on the ticket in 28.
I don't know. He's caving into these leftists. And please keep doing it.
Yeah.
Please keep going further to the left. Please keep telling people that AOC is your preferred candidate in 2028. Somebody with the voice of a 12-year-old and the brain of a underdeveloped human being. It's all about her. See, what they don't understand, the socialist, the person pitching it, they've got nothing to worry about because they'll be in leadership. They get the nice perks.
Right.
The people who have to live in that system, not so nice.
Yeah, I think New York's seen it firsthand. The businesses and the wealthy are moving out, and so there's your tax base, there's your revenue. So who's going to pay for all these free programs?
There's already I saw something today about these
grocery stores.
Yeah. It's going to take 3 years because that's government to open these stores. They're going to cost tens of millions of dollars to open, and really only provide a few staples at a low price. Everything else is pretty much going to. So what's the point?
Yeah. I think this socialist experiment is literally. It's like America has to see it for itself. And it's sad because it's going to be a painful growing pain, but it's like your kids. You can tell them, hey, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. They've got to touch it once to see that it burns them. And I think America's got to get burnt, sadly, to see that socialism, communism doesn't work. Because you can say it doesn't work, but these kids that want to vote for them.
Spain just scored.
Oh, about 4 minutes left. Soccer is very unusual. So they're 45-minute halves.
Yeah.
And then that +6. So they never stop the clock.
Right.
So if there's, hydration breaks or fouls or, injuries, they just add an arbitrary time to the end. And so that this match will go to 96 minutes. But then you think, okay, it ends right at night. Nah, it's whenever the refs want to call it. So it's very...
You know what threw me? It's the clock counts up,
right,
instead of down to 0.
Yep.
So we'll see. There's no doubt going to be a frenzied. By the way, it is not good for your brain to headbutt a soccer ball.
No.
There was a big study done on that, and it was recommended that kids who play soccer, that they make that particular play illegal, just to protect their developing brains.
Right.
Well, anyway, we've got our Go USA. Our team is tonight. I will check into the game. I'm just not going to be a phony and say, oh, boy, I'll be there in front of the game. I might look at a minute or two here and there.
Yeah. It's somewhat like baseball in the sense that they're longer, and then it's just kind of a lot of kind of dull moments followed by a really exciting moment, but those short exciting moments make up for it. But a lot of controversy with the red card, so it'll be interesting to see. They think that Belgium might target our player that was supposed to be suspended. So
again, when I was in Prattville, the key to enjoying that was a large police now not a police state, a police presence. They're friendly, checking bags, coming out of the stadium. There was no hassle whatsoever. They were super nice. And when the show ended, they were totally prepared and organized to help people exit. There was no reason for anybody to have a temper tantrum or get into it with another driver. I was so impressed. And no crime, because there were a lot of police there. And that tends to discourage people with evil who might be breaking into cars or whatever. I can't say enough good stuff about the way the whole event.
Yeah, presence and deterrence goes a long ways. A lot of people this morning I saw were like, oh, we need more gun laws, guns this. And it's like, no, the criminals in Montgomery take advantage of the lack of police presence because they'll know they'll get away with it. I mean, I highly doubt they'll find who shot up, Holt's son's home, the 6-year-old that was killed last night. It's, they don't know who did it, why they did it. And there's just not enough police to do the investigations, but it shouldn't happen in the first place. But like you said, it goes back to just active presence.
I am, maybe I'm oversimplifying, but I've always been a believer that crime tends to occur when people think they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Because people don't commit crimes with the intention of getting caught, and if there's nobody around.
I know.
Who's going
it's like somebody said, you see all these cars driving around Montgomery without any license plates on. It's just no one's enforcing that. Basic traffic violations. It's discouraging.
Not to mention some of the overtly aggressive driving you see.
Running the red lights and no signals and
no enforcement of noise ordinances or anything else. It's really pathetic. Let's see where the market finished.
over 53,000, I think, which is I think a new record for the S&P.
It's at 52,995.
Too close.
Keep in mind, I remember people grousing because about 3 months ago when we first went into Iran, the Dow dropped just under 46, I believe, very briefly, but that was about the low point. This is 7,000 points in a couple of months. The economy is actually doing quite well. Oil prices are dropping. And now that the 4th of July driving weekend is behind us, you'll see it go down even further. I think within a week, you'll start to see
below 3 a gallon.
Yeah, below 3. Temper's starting to get a little out of control there in the
these days they get a little testy in the matches.
Well, this is so critical on a. Oh, that was almost a goal. Deflected by the head.
By the Nugget.
Yeah.
Hopefully he has a fully formed cranium.
Yeah. All righty. Brant McDonald will analyze all the money news for us a little bit later on. We have a brand new sponsor since you were last here, Robbie's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing.
Oh, nice.
The Clark dynasty of greatness goes on, and this guy, if you don't have anybody that you can turn to keep your home cool and your system tuned, can't recommend them enough. And at some point, I mean, I really, the Plattner thing, if he's really on the way out, that could be our most electrifying story of the afternoon when he officially quits. I mean, we were supposed to believe all women, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the Democrats told us. So I'm believing what they're accusing him of doing. I mean, it's not like there wasn't a long track record there to begin with. But that's okay because, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. They got excuses for everything. 4 o'clock. Wow. Tom, you have a way of making time fly.
Good.
And I'm having fun. I'm officially having fun.
Busy afternoon in Montgomery, and we're seeing more and more cars on East South Boulevard, West South Boulevard, and the State Drive. Had an accident there earlier, and also Troy Highway at Bell Road. Watch out in both those locations. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Upgrade your home with Davis Store and Sash, your trusted source for replacement windows and doors. Save 10% off materials when you mention this ad. Visit Davis Store and Sash, Alabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
This weekend, Hallmark's Christmas in July begins with Christmas at the Fireworks Stand. He's a buff CrossFit competitor with rippling pecs and a bad case of ED, who owns a chain of fireworks stands. She's a smoking hot professional cabinet maker who's trying to balance extreme shyness with a love of hard wood. Is his firecracker a dud, or will sparks fly? Come on, what are you, a Yankee Doodle dummy? It's Christmas at the Fireworks Stand. All this weekend on the Hallmark Channel.
Casting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Your 405.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Venezuelans are digging through earthquake rubble with their bare hands to recover loved ones as international rescue teams depart, and anger rises over their government's response, which has been lackluster. On Monday, nearly 2 weeks after the twin earthquakes devastated northern Venezuela, families in the hardest hit state of La Guaira said that they remain without heavy machinery or official assistance to search for their relatives' remains. Russia has launched a massive missile and drone attack on Ukraine, killing at least 22 people. The assault highlights gaps in Ukraine's air defenses, especially the need for more in the way of those U.S.-made Patriot interceptor missiles. 15 people were killed in Kiev, Russia's main target, 6 others killed in the wider region surrounding the capital. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 155 points. More on these stories at SRNnews.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, your main options available at Convenience Financial Freedom. They'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-744-7344. 866-744-7344.
Score some goals. Bring it home. USA. Let's Team America, bring it home. Score some goals. Score some goals. Bring it home. USA. Let's go. Team America.
And that game starts in under 3 hours, and Spain beat Portugal just now. So they're out. I'm so used to long playoff rounds. This is either win or go home now.
Yep.
For all of these
knockouts.
And I think we will have the winning match on July 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me look it up here. I know I think it's in New Jersey.
By the way, this is our great friend Tom Moore, distinguished veteran, pilot, F-15s. I love that picture of you standing on the back end of your jet. And every time I see, like watching the F-35s that were, man, those are loud.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, boy.
The F-35 is a single engine, and its single engine has more thrust than both of the engines of the F-15 combined.
Wow.
By a long shot.
I have watched a ton of documentaries on the development of various aircraft over time. And like I watched one, it's just numbing stuff but I'm interested. How the 707,
the
first real passenger jet along with the DC-8 in that time, and all they had to go. In fact, the test pilot for the Boeing 707, this is almost the size of one of your contemporary passenger jets like an Airbus or the 787, a little smaller than that, but not much, did a barrel roll with it over I guess they were demonstrating it, a flyby over some kind of water event in Seattle. And he had not told the president of Boeing that he was going to do this.
Oh, my goodness.
But think about that,
That takes some cojones.
It did, but he did it. I guess he figured the gravity, it shouldn't. If he just did it in the normal course of flight, it should turn easily without stressing the plane. So he did one, came back and did another. The president of Boeing at the time, a guy named Paul Allen, called him in. What were you doing? And he explained, and he says, okay, well, don't do it again. They didn't, he thought he might get fired. He's one of those, old school pilots that started, his first flights were in the biplanes at the end of World War I. Forget how long. It always blows me away when you see B-52s. They've been around for over 70 years.
Yep, since the early 50s. And they're getting re-engined right now. So, yeah, keep on trucking. It's funny, when we were at Heathrow, I thought about you. It's just amazing how many huge aircraft are at Heathrow. And I don't know if you've ever seen it at an airport, but the A380.
That is a monster.
I kept telling my wife, I was like, look, it's another A380. There was a Qantas one and I think an Emirates one. And some airports can't even handle that aircraft because it's so large. Dulles can barely get one in and out. But yeah, that thing is just, we flew on Virgin Atlantic and we were on an A350. So
the A380 is double deck.
Yep.
The whole length of its fuselage, where the 747 has
just
the
the
guppy
bubble.
in the front. I've flown on those numerous times, and it's just an amazing thing. In 1989, we did a broadcast from London at the BBC. Several cool memories from that. First of all, we were told by our hosts at BBC that there are groupies everywhere.
The aviation folks in England are second to none. The plane spotters, they track tail numbers, pictures. They do it at our bases. It's nuts.
The which was really, just to be broadcasting from the freaking BBC was kind of cool. And then we did 2 weeks later, we were in Paris for a broadcast there. And
this was part of the radio station that you were with at the time?
Yeah, we did all these.
You just went.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. It was the way it was. It was at first class, didn't pay for a damn thing. On the flight back from Paris on a 747, the public relations director for the airline invited me to the cockpit. The pilot invited me to sit in the co-pilot seat.
What?
Yes. Nobody would do that today,
No.
of course. This is all pre 9/11. And even then, it was probably not recommended. But when you sit in the co-pilot seat of a jumbo jet and you look out to the right and all you see is wing, and you realize how many tons of machine that you're guiding.
Right.
And to bring all of that down to a soft landing, regular, it's a level of responsibility I can't fathom.
Yeah, that 747's huge. I'm still jealous that you got to fly in Concorde.
That was, that was so quick. That was a public relations thing that Air France did, I guess to promote that they had service in Miami. So we had it for 45 minutes.
Wow.
We were able to get up to 60,000 feet. You could
Whoa.
see the curvature of the earth, but you didn't really feel the speed, and it wasn't a comfortable plane.
Yeah, the seats didn't like hardly recline. It was 2x2, really narrow.
And if you were over 5'10", even if you weren't, you still felt like you had to duck because the ceiling was so low.
Oh, wow.
As opposed to a conventional plane. Very cool experience. And how quickly you were able to get up to that altitude in that thing. The angle of attack on takeoff on the Concorde was so steep, it almost felt like you were going vertical.
That's crazy.
Because the nose of the plane lifts up a little higher
Yep.
than. And it's sad that those days are over.
Yeah, supersonic air travel is coming back. There's a company called, ironically, Boom Aviation that's developing new supersonics. So hopefully that comes back.
Yep. I wanted to fly the Concorde when I was making stupid money. Take a trip to Europe.
Yeah, it was like 10 grand a ticket.
That was too stupid for even me at the time. I could have. I wouldn't have suffered. I wouldn't have been foodless or anything like that. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And at the time, I don't think I was seeing anybody that. Sometimes a woman would, hey, can we take a flight on the? Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. That would be the only way I think I would go to Hawaii, is if we had supersonic travel. I've always wanted to go. Always wanted to see Pearl Harbor, the Arizona, all of that stuff. But it's a 5-hour flight to LA and another 5-hour flight. I think they have a nonstop to Hawaii from Atlanta.
Ooh.
And I looked at the cost of a first class ticket, and it was about $3,500 round trip.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 9 from Atlanta to London. That wasn't bad. I think a couple years ago we did an Asia trip, and it was like 15 hours. My body cannot do that anymore.
I don't know what you do. I mean, you can have books. There's all kinds of things to entertain you in an aircraft now. But even so, the atmosphere, they keep the air as fresh as they can, but it's, I don't know, just not that kind of time.
No.
It is 4:15. Is our transmitter on today?
Yeah,
It still very much feels like a holiday.
Yeah, we need some folks to call in and say hi. Make sure that they got all their fingers, survived the 4th.
Well, we just heard from Brant McDonald, and he will be calling at 4:35 today.
Excellent.
Find out about the market.
I thought about you when we were in London, too, the history of just the bombings that city took in World War II. And then we obviously were in the underground traveling around, and a lot of folks went to the tube to get away from the bombings. And, Churchill spoke down in there and rode down in there. And, it was, I had seen some of the things before, but the Tower of London was new to us. And so that,
the thing that got me with the Tower of London, some of that looked like mighty naughty. I mean, a lot of bondage devices, things like that, torture devices, and it's 1,000 years old. How they were able to come up with all those ideas before they got around to like indoor plumbing and things that were more sanitary.
Yeah. Got to see the crown jewels.
We haven't invented the toilet yet, but boy, do we have some amazing ways to torture you if you step out of line. If you have a family, domestic situation, things can get very emotional very quickly. You can make decisions that are not rational. Your first instinct is, I'm going to manage this myself. Bad move. Emotions and situations like divorce, that's already supercharged. You don't need to make it worse. The key to life, as they taught us in rehab, is to turn it over, to give your crisis to people who are so well equipped to handle it, like Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson. Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law. Let them digest the circumstances, whatever they are. Sometimes it can be somebody from the past who has come back for more. And you got to deal with it. There's really no choice in the matter. But having people who are absolutely dedicated to looking out for your best interests, who will tell you the truth and give you that confidence you need that, hey, I've got the best people looking out for my best interest. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It makes sense. Let them say, here's where we're at, here's where you want to be, and here's how we're going to get you there. They also hand, in fact, I got to get with Jacqueline to update my will. Not that I have any doubts about this upcoming surgery. But they do wills, all matters of family law. They can help with adoptions, blended families, and more. Their entire services are listed at their website, thealabamafamilylawyers.com, or reach out for a consultation at any time, 819-4810, 819-4810 for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
And who do we have here?
The master thespian, the esteemed. He wants to talk about his travels to the Aloha State.
The Great Warhawk has joined us.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be there tomorrow, but I heard you guys talking about flying on planes and the fact that you've never been to Hawaii, so I had to call and brag and say that, yes, I did it. But I'll explain. It's kind of wild.
I had many opportunities to go. I just couldn't set aside the time. And for me, it wasn't the beaches and the hula girls. It was the history that I wanted to see because I've studied Pearl Harbor so many different ways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pearl Harbor is an amazing experience. It really is. I mean, you got a little shuttle boat that takes you to the pier that's there, and everybody's quiet. I mean, it's a very reverential place, a very spooky place. Because you just look right over the rail, and the ship's just there, just under the water. You feel like you could just reach out and touch it, and that's just creepy.
Was it you that telling us that they do an inspection around the Arizona every morning early before the tourists come to see if any bones or anything is dislodged and risen to the surface?
Yeah, they do. They do, just to make sure that nothing unseemly is going to be sticking out. Although I don't know at this point. Goodness, we're what? 41. That was almost 80 years ago. I don't know how much organic material is going to be left at this point. But anyway, but the flight to Hawaii was a long flight. I was in high school band, and our band director, Russell Ramsey, he loved the idea of taking trips. So we would sell just tons of fruit, oranges, grapefruit, and we just sold tons and tons of it. And the profits from the fruit sales, we would then use to go on trips. So I got to go to Mexico one year. That was fun. But then my senior year, we got to go to Hawaii. And we would take all our instruments with us, and we got to play there. I don't remember where we played, but it was cool. But the flight we took from Knoxville, Tennessee, and we flew to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if we were at Hobby or if we were at the other airport, but we changed planes in Dallas, and then got on a big plane taking us from Dallas to Oahu, and that was a long flight.
Yeah,
it was a long flight. But I was young. I was 18 years old. I take a lot of stuff. But
I can't wait till you're here tomorrow so we can talk about Supergirl. And I've got to find out what it is you saw in that actress in that movie that you like, because the more I learn about her, the more despicable she is.
Well, that's the funny thing about it, is that all these people are ragging on the movie, and I got a feeling they haven't seen it. And I will agree. Most people are saying, it's just okay. And yeah, it's an okay movie. It's not horrible, but it's just okay.
Have either of you seen Young Washington yet?
No.
I've heard that's good.
But I want to.
Here again, the critics, who tend to be just like the rest of the media, libtards and pseudo-intellectuals, they gave it on Rotten Tomatoes like a 60.
Mm-hmm.
The public, at one point, it was at 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
the last 92. Here's the funny part about all this. Supergirl, they made it for $174 million.
Oof.
They spent another $100 million to promote it. So $270 million there in the can. They're not going to make that back.
Not even close. Right now, it's
Young
sitting at 58 million.
Wow.
I got the box office for the weekend right in front of me, 58 million, and it dropped 76%
Oh yeah,
from its
it
opening weekend.
It tanked. But Young Washington, they made that for $24 million. You know how much it made the first weekend? You got the figures right there.
Yep.
Opening weekend, it brought in $21 million.
Yep.
Almost.
It sure did. It'll be money making, and again, well, who wants to see a movie about our country and George Washington? Because the left hates this. They just hate it.
What's the film that you guys? It's like an overseas horror flick that was
Obsession.
really low budget, but has done really well.
That's Obsession.
Have you guys seen that one?
I have not, but Rich Thomas has.
I haven't yet.
It's done $245 million.
Get out. And what was the budget on it?
Less than 10, from what I understand.
Yeah, I was million.
That's been. I got to run. We're about 20
We'll talk
minutes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Come on, I'll come by. We'll chat. We'll go to bed.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Bye.
We'll call it Taco Tuesday.
All right, we are at 4:24 on News Talk 93.1 FM, and Brant McDonald coming up at 4:35. Rich's forecast after traffic.
Well, we have been busy throughout the afternoon, and traffic really beginning to build now around the boulevard, also I-65 and 85 at the interchange. Seeing a lot of cars there. All of our feeder roads outbound beginning to build. Prattville, Millbrook, Wauchope not reporting any issues at the moment. Keep it here. We'll update you when accidents happen. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trentham State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to trenthamstate.edu for more information. Buckle up, Wendell J., Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Rich Thomas weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is a different weather pattern in that the temperatures will be down just a tad, but radar will be much more active. High temperature in the lower 90s today with the sun and cloud mix and scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. They tend to fade out at night. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror, and that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks. No $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Brian McMahon with Turf Stalkers. Within a few months of advertising with Blue Water, our customer base doubled. If you're looking for similar results, we highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Trustworthy, accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
And now, Dad Joke Theater.
Hello there. I need a doctor's appointment.
Okay, how about 10 tomorrow?
No, that's too many. Just one, please.
Join us again for another Dad Joke Theater.
And welcome back. The bus to Camp 6 o'clock is halfway there already. Tom Moore sidekicking with us today. I wonder if David's had a chance to get back. He said he's been on the Plattner thing this afternoon. That is a story that could... he's taking time
to decide.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, up in Maine, are they making room for the swastika on their state flag?
Plattner says he will reflect on the best path forward. It's called Exit Stage Left, my friend.
Yeah.
And good riddance to you and your shenanigans.
It's, and even though Susan Collins is not exactly a flaming conservative.
Yeah.
And somebody you can count on. Like, again, all of this great activity over the weekend, celebrating the country, yet we have a clown show in Congress and in the Senate in particular that can't bring themselves to pass the SAVE Act. And the question is why? What is it about citizens only voting? That's kind of how it's done. We're always hearing about how great it is in Europe and all these other places. They don't let foreigners come in and vote in their elections. You got to prove who you are. And that all that BS, it's an inconvenience. When there's like 75 other things that you must show. The ultimate hypocrisy, you got to show an ID when you visit the Obama Center.
Right.
Why is that more important than voting? Why do you need an ID to go into that dump? I just don't get it.
That makes two of us.
It's frustrating. But Mike Johnson seems to be trying to make something happen with that. And maybe we really need it. Or they're just going to keep stealing elections, and the Supreme Court hasn't been exactly helpful in protecting things, so to speak. There's already hospitals in southern Texas that are advertising to pregnant women in other countries. Come here. It's a $5,000 deal. So have your baby here at our hospital, and it'll become an American citizen, and you'll get good care. Let's just grab this on the fly. No. Feel free to take it. Our show brought to you in part by Georgia Floors Direct, and Brant McDonald will be joining us in a couple of minutes here. Let's do this while Tom is checking out the caller. We will check in with Skipper and get the latest update in the community. It finally rained here. It looked like it 2 hours.
Well, another busy ride home in Montgomery. Pretty busy at I-65 and 85, the interchange. 65 northbound, moving slow across the Alabama River Bridge, up 65 north. 85 north, light to mostly moderate traffic. Boulevards are busy. No issues, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. We did have an accident much earlier. West South Boulevard and Estate Drive. We're hoping they have cleared that one. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders, up to $5,000 on roads. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan. Exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
It is 4:33. We was able to enjoy a comfortable weekend thanks to one man came to the rescue, and that's Robbie Clark. You know that name, that Clark name. This is yet another generation of the Clark family who is now struck out on his own, started his own company. And I got to tell you, he worked relentlessly to get some situations straight, to install some parts, and is offering a basic service agreement for $149 for 1 year. This is the third generation of a family whose specialty has been heating and air conditioning. So you can't go wrong. If you don't have somebody to call or don't have a place that will at least come out, make sure you're tuned, clean, and all your major components are in good working order, reach out at 245-3644. That, of course, in the 334 area code. You're going to love Robbie. He's on fire. He's super intelligent. But somehow he was able to take a simple man like me and make me understand why the AC was not keeping up with the heat. It is now, thanks to him. So if you don't yet have a company that you partner up with, Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning, again, 20 plus years of experience, services the entire river region, and by the way, offers 24/7 emergency service, or you can pick up on that $149 deal for 1 year with tune-ups and so forth, and have them on call. That's Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. Highly recommended because I've worked with the Clark family for a long, long time. This should be, yes, Mr. Wright, on the money. Is that you, Brant?
Yeah, it's me, Greg.
How are you?
I'm good. Happy Monday. How are you?
I am okay.
We're easing into things over here.
Yeah, it's, still trying to shed the, not a hangover, lesson because I party too much. Just a hangover from all the weekend and all that time in the heat, too. But good, otherwise. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. We had a wonderful weekend celebrating the 4th of July. What an incredible show across the country. The patriotism was really just incredible, and celebrating 250. I really enjoyed it, but I have to say, yes, it was so hot. It was unreal how hot it was.
Man, yeah.
But
well, we could have had some of the ferocious storms that struck elsewhere. It's 6-1. And today, I mean, it looked like it was going to storm for almost 2 hours. It finally rained here after the big tease. So it looked like a good day in the market. First day back after the long weekend. What's your take?
I think it's still a story about bond yields. Bond yields have been very well behaved, especially since Friday, or rather Thursday, on that very weak jobs number. We talked on Thursday afternoon, as you know, and we provided a pretty significant amount of commentary around that. The bottom line is that jobs number was a very weak report, and I think there was some carryover from that into the trading activities of the day. And the carryover really is, again, if we've got sort of a weak jobs market, that helps the bond market because bond yields come down, and that helps asset prices like stocks, like real estate, and certainly the precious metals, things like gold, silver, and hard assets, which have been trading much better. I mean, those were up on Thursday, up again today. But again, you look at the action in the market today. Yes, we were in the green, but it wasn't like there was some just runaway train here. It's just we're continuing to hover around these really, really high valuations, and there's not a lot of news really either this week. You know, so there's not. This is going to be a weird week because it's in front of the beginning of second quarter earnings, which really are going to get underway in earnest next week. So, not, as I said, not a big catalyst, and I think generally speaking, the earnings report for the second half of this year are going to be huge, like just massive, because you look at the valuations in the market. These valuations have been propelled higher, primarily around the massive earnings numbers that we've been seeing reported, particularly in tech land, particularly even further around the AI sort of trade, if you will, the semiconductors and the AI stocks. There's just been massive amounts of investments into this space, this new technology. And as that's happened, you've seen companies like semiconductors, NVIDIA is sort of the poster child for that. But the semiconductors, all of these other subsectors, if you will, that are tied in to the AI, as I call it, trade, quote unquote. But here's the thing. So you get this massive run on earnings. The question then becomes, how long can that last? Like, how long is this cycle going to be? When do we start to level off? Secondarily, the companies who are buying all this stuff and spending all the money, they're able to, under the tax code, they're able to write all this off. And so that supports their earnings. And there's this massive sort of incestuous relationship that's going on between buyer and seller in this AI space and in this whole, as I've been saying, AI trade. And so when we get these earnings, we as I said, it's going to be really important to really understand exactly how much longer this can go on, and the only way you get that is by tuning in and listening to these conference calls like we do, to try to understand from these executive management teams just what their numbers really look like, and for not only the rest of this year but into next year, because they're going to continue to be placing these orders. So that's a critical part of what I think we're going to see next week, and then certainly the week after that. Again, earnings-driven market around the AI trade, and how long will this last? In terms of data this week, though, Greg, there's not a whole lot, nothing really to look for, other than we do get the minutes from the FOMC meeting. And I think that's going to be a pretty big deal. Typically in the past, when you look at minutes of these meetings, they're kind of boring, not much to really look at. Every now and then you're able to glean a little bit of information that you didn't otherwise know. But the reason this one's important is because it was the first time that Kevin Warsh was the Fed chair and chaired one of these meetings as the new Fed chair. And remember, Jay Powell is still a voting member of the Board of Governors, even though he's no longer Fed chair, which is extremely unique. But so we'll see maybe what he might have had to say, if anything, in these minutes. So I think the market will be looking at that on Wednesday. But outside of that, no really massive data this week.
Okay. Well, it's always good to see green, and the Dow just under 53,000. That's pretty impressive, man, because it wasn't that long ago, maybe a few months, it was under 47. So this is a 6,000 point rally in a relatively short period of time.
It is. And keep in mind, too, I mean, a lot of the things that Trump has done, and this is harder to quantify and harder to really research, but the United States is attracting massive amounts of capital, foreign capital, coming in to the country, and it is in the trillions, and that money is getting put to work. A lot of the ISM surveys, both the manufacturing and non-manufacturing surveys of late have been pretty good and suggest a stronger economy than you would expect. And that's why that jobs number was so perplexing. You heard me on Thursday just keep saying it was a real head scratcher. And there's also some new data out there around jobs that's hyper-focused on the impact of AI on jobs. And from what we can tell so far, and this is super back of the napkin, but it's I think it's reasonably close. There may be around 125,000 jobs that have been replaced by AI so far. And so you've got this weird situation now where you're getting numbers that suggest a reasonably strong economy, but a very weak jobs picture, and also a very weak consumer out there, particularly that bottom 60%, which is just really struggling still. And so, you know, it's a very difficult environment overall.
A lot of attention paid to the Trump accounts that were launched today when they opened the market.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great thing. I really do, and it'll bear fruit down the road for these children, for these infants. You know, but I just have to say, and I want to end this call by saying this, and we're probably going to spend a lot of time talking about the same thing over the coming weeks. That remember when Trump took office, we were already in super dire straits, and I kept saying over and over again, I kept pounding the table saying there are some things we can do, and Trump has done to stabilize the situation and help the economy. The only way to get out of this mess, you're talking about a 10 to 20 year glide path of where you just sort of you grow your way out of this problem. But that involves currency debasement, running a little bit higher than average inflation, and Trump will be out of office, and hopefully there'll be another president that's equally as good, that supports the same types of macroeconomic policies and fiscal policies that will continue this, because there's no easy fix. There's just nothing you can do to get us out of the mess that we were in. It's just that severe. And so in the meantime, we will see, my friend, but we'll be watching the rest of this week. We'll be here to report on it with you, and look forward to chatting tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Our most electrifying story is coming up. It involves Dave Chappelle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little, gave a little hell to CNN.
Yeah, he was upset the question he got asked.
So we will be enjoying that moment ahead. In the meantime, our great team at 1819 News has your latest local at 4:45.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
Funeral arrangements have now been announced for an Alabama firefighter who died in a blaze in western Colorado. 27-year-old Sydney Watson is from Warrior. She was one of 3 firefighters killed in an operation to contain the Knowles fire in that state. Visitation for the Watson family will occur this Tuesday at High Point Community Church. A celebration of life service will then be held that same day. Fire departments across the region will be showing their respects for Watson as well. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A double drowning has occurred in Coffee County, claiming the life of a stepfather and his stepson. 59-year-old David Rubright went into the Pea River to save his stepson, 21-year-old Benji Falvo, who had gone under the waters. The body of both men were retrieved on Sunday afternoon. Autopsies will be performed on both men by the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. A man had to be hospitalized after a water tubing accident on Sunday on Lake Martin. The injured person was riding the water tube and fell off into the water. He was then struck by the pontoon boat's propeller while he was being retrieved from that water. The man was taken to UAB Hospital. Police in Pensacola, Florida, continue to search for the shooting suspect who opened fire in the downtown area during the 4th of July festivities. This killed one person and it injured 6 others. The shooting occurred amongst a group of hundreds of young people taking part in fireworks in the downtown area. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
For more than 50 years, the Tears family's been keeping the river region flowing with Roto-Rooter. From drain cleaning to septic repair and installation, no job's too big or too messy with a local team you can trust. So when water won't go where it's supposed to, call the hometown experts who've been serving Montgomery for over half a century. That's 272-7130. Or visit rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is a different weather pattern in that the temperatures will be down just a tad, but radar will be much more active. High temperature in the lower 90s today with the sun and cloud mix and scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. They tend to fade out at night. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
Headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with today's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
Oh, CNN continues to suck bottom in the ratings. Everybody there, whether they admit it publicly or not, but the word on the street is everybody that currently works at CNN is worried because the company is being taken over by a more conservative ownership, and they're all bleeding like billy goats. Will we be allowed to spew our propaganda till death do us part? And apparently not. So they're losing it. I guess Dave Chappelle didn't get the memo that if you're famous and you're known as an entertainer, you're supposed to hate Donald Trump. So Anderson's pooper and some other guy were interviewing Chappelle, and let's hear how this went. You know, now he'll get holy hell because you're supposed to, you're not allowed to be an individual thinker. It's just getting so old and so tired. And again, why don't they ever stop and think, why has Donald Trump been elected 3 times? We all know 2020. They never look at the messaging. They never understand why he, we're talking. In fact, he's gotten more votes every time he's run too. So he's not going backwards. And his approval right now is just under 50. That's impressive considering he takes a nonstop beating from The View on down to any other legacy media outlet. They have nothing positive to say. They mock him, instead of being outraged that people were befouling the reflecting pool in front of the monument, they were making fun of him. They didn't get it done right. He did it for a lot less than Joe Biden did nothing. Even 20 years ago when I was, not quite 20, Obama's first year, I was up there for the September 10th protest with the Tea Party. And it saddened me to see how decrepit the fountains, all the things that really what they did was just a good pressure washing.
Right.
But they didn't care. And he's restored all of that. Proud of the city, proud of the Capitol. It's safer to be in D.C. now because they established a law and order presence. And, it's like my little theory here. Crime happens. And we've had some outrageous stuff because the people that commit those crimes think they can get away with it. I'm getting lost in the confusion. Anyway, good for you, Chappelle. At least he understands why.
He always keeps it real.
Yeah.
I've always liked Dave Chappelle.
Oh, what's this controversy now? Trump announces Walmart will lower prices. That's pretty electrifying, too. Urges other retailers to follow suit. Belgium's Soccer Federation is astonished that FIFA allowed the U.S. star, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, Florent Blogin.
Yep.
Allowed U.S. star to play after red card. And now there's an article on The Sun, not the one that hovers overhead, but the periodical, that says that we could get disqualified and just tossed out of the tournament over this whole thing. Insanity, I tell you.
I think it's going to rile up our team tonight. I think they're sick of the crap, and they're going to use it for their advantage.
And then everybody that's not named, however you pronounce his name, rises up and becomes stars on their own. You know? I have a pretty good feeling about it. I think they're going to win. Belgium.
Yeah, we need to remind that country that they'd be speaking German if it wasn't for the United States of America.
Yeah.
They can take their waffles and
Uh-huh.
their chocolate.
I love it.
And kiss some American.
Yes, absolutely.
It's funny how Belgium they always declare neutrality in any conflict. They just. But I think Belgium, correct me if I'm wrong, was very pro-Nazi during the regime. Is that not?
They actually, I think it was Denmark more than Belgium, because you had the whole Quisling thing there.
Yep.
The people that got along to get along, and did what the Nazis told them to do instead of resisting. It's like I hear the word resistance today. Resisting what? Prosperity? Is that what you hate? Success? Is it the lower taxes you're paying? What? Tell me what you're resisting here. What is going on that is so god awful that you have to resist? There's no answer for that. Sometimes you just got to eat your way into a better space. Smoky Notes is a good place to do that if you love barbecue. They've got, we had their chef on while you were out of town. They brought in trays of.
Of course, I missed it.
Yes. Their entrees, their sides. And the chef talked about their processes. When you're making brisket, it's a process. And it's literally 24 hours.
Yeah, you got to smoke those for a long time.
Yeah. And they have literally rotating crews that make sure that that's exactly how the brisket's getting done. And if you haven't tried their brisket melt, I recommend that. I haven't done the smash burger yet. That's next on my list. The Monte Cristo, they have, of course, pulled pork, chicken, an incredible array of sauces, and some of the best sides you will eat, starting with the potato twists. You can get those loaded as an appetizer or as a side. Their homemade baked beans, the cabbage with the Conecuh sausage and the kick of spice, their potato salad, and their mac and cheese, which kind of has an Alfredo base, but there's so much cheese in it, you literally have to cut it with a metal fork on the side. It's that good. I could just live off the side. Smoky Notes is in the Lagoon Park Shopping Center, and it's right where the Petro stay. If you're going north on the boulevard, you'll see the Petro sign. It's right next door to that, and lots of room, been totally redone. Great place to bring the family. Lunch only on Monday from 11 to 2, so you can't go this evening. But Tuesday through Sunday, they're open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's Smoky Notes Barbecue. Check it out. All right, off to the traffic dungeon. Visit with Skipper, Wall Street Business to follow.
A lot of cars on the road this afternoon. We're seeing a lot of busy traffic. I-65 and 85 boulevards are loaded up. 231 to Wetumpka, light, mostly moderate traffic there. No issues, though. Prattville, Billbrook, Wetumpka, or Montgomery that we're aware of at the moment. We will keep you updated. Davis Store and Sash has quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials by mentioning this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. President Trump rang the opening bells for the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ from the Oval Office, a symbolic act that was aimed at promoting the launch of those Trump accounts to give kids access to investing. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 155 points. The S&P 500 gained 54, and the NASDAQ gained 288 points. Here's something that could bode well for prices at the gas pump.
A handful of countries in the OPEC Plus oil-producing cartel are planning to step up their output next month. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies say 7 countries will expand oil production by a combined total of 188,000 barrels per day in August. It was the 5th consecutive month that the group known as OPEC Plus agreed to raise its oil production. Rich Thomason reporting.
And for the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed, and make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded? And the shutters or fascia, power washing them in all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
A great lawn doesn't happen by accident. It takes a pro. That's where Turf by Pest Pro comes in. We handle the weeds, feed your grass, and take care of fire ants so your lawn stays healthy, strong, and looking its best, which means your yard is ready for cookouts, playtime, and making memories all season long. Get started today. Call 265-9990 or visit us at ppsriverregion.com. That's 265-9990 or visit us at ppsriverregion.com. When you want to grow, call a pro. Turf by Pest Pro.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Porch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Porch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at porchcreekindians.org.
Today's show is brought to you by the World Cup. I wasn't originally a soccer fan, but now I find it extremely exhilarating to watch hot, sweaty guys from other countries.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Take your 5 o'clock. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A former campus police officer says he found an apparent sniper pad on a gravel rooftop near where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Monday's courtroom testimony by the former officer comes as prosecutors seek to show they have enough evidence to put defendant Tyler Robinson on trial for murder. After a story was published in Politico in which a woman declared that Democratic senatorial candidate from Maine, Graham Plattner, forced himself upon her, Plattner denied the charge on X. However, Plattner says, quote, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward. Plattner is running as a Democrat against incumbent Susan Collins. More details at srnnews.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies and fiber and spice supplements. Our ingredients are 16 whole fruits, 15 whole vegetables, 4 powerful fibers, and 12 aromatic spices. It's one irresistible combo.
Oh, I have a friend, Julia, who has taken a Balance of Nature now for quite some time, and she said, oh, Becky, ask your doctor about taking Balance of Nature. So I talked to my doctor about it, and she said, oh, try it.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Mike G.
More beer, you slappy wag. There must be a bar. I can finally get a drink. I need to drink beer.
You need bar beers.
And as you know, I like my beer. Beer don't by itself.
I'm having a beer.
Free beer. I'm a booze hound. Okay, meet me at the bar in 15 minutes and suit up.
Would you like some more champagne?
I'd love some.
Who's ready for margaritas?
Fireball.
All right, last call, fellas. It's closing time.
Ah, crap, I'm not even half buzzed.
We came here to drink some beer.
Tom Moore and I are busy watching Graham Plattner try to look innocent and sincere and genuine as yet another sexual assault, this one a rape actually, comes out against him. No shame whatsoever. When you're a Democrat, we don't believe all women. There must be something wrong with them if they're making charges against a Democrat. Can't be. By the way, Laura Loomer has a story out this afternoon. It says Mitch McConnell is done. I mean, there are some that actually think he is dead. I don't know why they won't announce it if he is, but apparently cannot function, according to Laura Loomer. Let me get you the details here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's staying through his term. I mean, he's definitely done his service, and you know these folks need to go out on a high note instead of.
Yeah, a high-level source close to the White House tells me that Mitch McConnell is officially brain dead, not coming back. He's looked terrible. But then why does his wife, who has ties to China, she takes off 3 days after he has this most recent episode? She's over there. Who's taking care of him here? Makes you wonder. And I'm sorry, got to hold the Republicans accountable when they pull this crap. Of course, Mitch McConnell has been busy protecting the deep state the entirety of both Trump presidencies. He's been no friend of the administration.
It just goes back to term limits. I mean, I've called it for years. These folks who are in their 80s shouldn't be like Pelosi, McConnell.
How about Nancy Pelosi's husband getting busted for hit and run?
And I didn't realize this was like the second time he's had an issue with DUI.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, I think, 2022 or 2023, he had a run-in. So,
and I'm thinking, okay, so you, I don't know if he was messed up and he didn't want to get caught being high. But and he did a lot of damage to the car he hit.
And you see the video when the body cam, he's like, I'm a high profile guy, so he's trying to use his status to get out of it. And the cop's like, I know who you are. But he's been in the news a lot, with the case in 2020. And then I think wasn't there
what was the deal with the hammer? I never really
home
did
invasion.
understand
Yeah,
that.
he got beat up, assaulted.
I've never bought that story. That stinks to high heaven.
It was strange.
But Nancy Pelosi, she's the fixer. She's the one that makes those bad stories go away. Just incredible what they get away with. And but the view, Donald Trump is destroying America. That's the story. 2 hours, less than 2 hours now till World Cup soccer excitement tonight. And the flap continues over the red card thing and yada, yada, yada. Just play the game. And, yeah, I think you made a good point earlier, Tom Moore, that if Belgium's going to win the game, wouldn't you want to win against America's best team? I don't think this guy committed a crime. Contact sports, things happen.
Yeah, it was not with malice. It was not intent.
That's the thing.
Yeah, there's contact. It's a contact sport.
If it was, no sympathy for me.
And no one got hurt. Game goes on. And then, like I said, he was already penalized. They played a man down for half the match, so.
I think that's enough.
Yep.
Anyway, so lots of folks are gearing up for that tonight. Again, we were talking about Smoky Notes a few minutes ago. You can reach out. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're closed on Monday. Got bomb hours.
And at the new location.
Went to that. That was a week ago tonight. Went to the launch party for the restaurant. It's just incredible.
Is this in a new building or is it
Brand new building?
A brand new building.
Yeah.
It's about the same size as the old one?
It's maybe a little larger.
Wow.
But they have a nice glassed in indoor-outdoor looking setup. It's all windows.
And this is in Millbrook?
Yeah.
Now,
At the
is
17th.
this location still open?
Yes.
Are they planning on cranking it down or?
No.
Nope, they're going to do both.
Bob is, from what I understand, always looking to either improve or if he decides to open a new location. I know they've looked at East Chase. That's not exactly breaking news. That story's been known, but hasn't been able to find the property that he wants.
Yeah.
I think a great location for them would be on the east side of East Chase. It's more open there. It's easier to get in and out.
Right.
Because there's places I might visit on the west side of East Chase, but that turn,
Yeah.
Getting in there.
There's always been a restaurant that seems to turn like it was like Twin Peaks and then maybe a crab place. It seems like it's been a rotating door, but that would probably be, like you said, if it wasn't for the traffic, not a bad area. But I have not been up to Millbrook much, I got to admit. So this is the new Baumhauer's is in Millbrook.
Take 65 to Highway 14, turn right and go east about a mile plus, and it's on the left. Beautiful area.
Nice.
The 17th Avenue Sports Complex is all there. And it's very pastoral. It's totally the opposite of a city location, And the inside is beautiful. They've done some nice artwork on the walls, images of Bob when he was playing for both Alabama and for the Dolphins.
Nice.
So, really good, top-notch staff. But we're still doing our Wednesday night gatherings right up the street here at the Boulevard.
Excellent.
For those of you who are thinking about buying a house, and maybe it's not something you plan to do in the short term, but you're thinking about it, why not get an opinion from people who are not going to push you if that's not the right play for you at this particular time? Maybe you need to wait a little bit longer for interest rates to come down. I still believe that they will. But the thing is, you can't control interest rates and inventory and all the things that drive the housing market. But you can make a choice that will make that process so much better for you. And that's Alabama Home Mortgage. Madeline and Kim and this great team of people are all about building relationships. And they've had people that have taken more than a year to, but constantly helping them get ready to make that move when they find the right place and they, getting pre-approved. So when they're ready to make that move, they're right there and it happens, making the American dream come true. The VA mortgage is one of the strongest options out there for veterans in terms of financing options, benefits like no down payment purchases, 100% cash out refis. And by the way, if you need money, you may be in the house you're in right now, and they can help you with that too. Full service mortgage, but it's great to have that consultant aspect that they're here to help you, whether it's in the immediate future or something that's a little bit down the road. Please, that's an incredible brain trust of people over there. Pick those brains and put that to your advantage. Reach out at 567-4223, 567-4223 for Alabama Home Mortgage. They're an equal housing lender. Their NMLS number is 158-6368. Rich's forecast coming up.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look. And they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Well, don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Victoryland Casinos, crowning 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Well, hi, everybody. It is a different weather pattern in that the temperatures will be down just a tad, but radar will be much more active. High temperature in the lower 90s today with the sun and cloud mix and scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. They tend to fade out at night, overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACD.
No, I got stuck at work, but
It's 5 o'clock if you're interested.
it's 5 o'clock.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here, please.
Just get me out of here, okay?
Get me out of here. There's no more work.
Hey, buddy, you and I have no more work, no more business, no more deals.
The workday is over.
My work is over.
5 o'clock, we're getting nowhere.
Work is over.
But don't you be expecting no more work out of me.
And that is the official 5 o'clock sounder here on Happy Hour, 19 minutes after 5 o'clock. Got some clips I saved over the long weekend that we can listen to. Tom Moore sidekicking with us. David Blackman returns on Thursday. I just got a note. He says, a word I can't repeat on the radio, says, but it infers poop. I forgot all about maybe calling in today. Talk to you Thursday. Sorry. It's okay. It's doesn't it still at some level feel like a holiday?
Yep.
Really does.
It does not feel like a Monday.
Kelsey Grammer, one of the few in Hollywood who sticks to his conservative guns. And he's right. Can't help but think back to the days when I was a kid riding on a bus in Chicago and seeing advertising boards inside the bus above the seats, pictures of Nikita Khrushchev screaming, "We will bury you." I remember asking my mom, what does he mean? Why is it's communist Russia, horrible place. I came across this clip. I have not listened to it yet, but I think I have played it long ago. And it's called "Are You a Communist?" One of those old school, almost like a Britannica tutorial videos.
Yeah.
Let's give this a little bit of a listen. Yeah. Yeah. Look at Mom Donnie pissing all over the country on the 250th celebration. Who the hell does he think he is? What has he done, by the way, the Magic Man? He's been in office for half a year.
Yeah.
Do they have free everything yet?
No.
They have the free bus rides, the free transportation he promised. None of it. And yet, when I see him parading around New York and appearing here and there, he's got a coterie of supporters on hand at all time that are just standing there smiling like, you stupid. I'll let Gene Wilder say it for me. Yes, I will let Gene Wilder say it for me. Where did I put this? You can tell I'm razor sharp today.
You stupid, ignorant son of a dumb bastard!
That's what I want to scream at these people. What the hell's wrong with you?
And to your point earlier, there are other countries that are socialist and communist. If you want to be a part of that, feel free.
Sure.
Don't infect it here. America was founded on very strong values and a democratic way of life. And so if you don't like it,
Khrushchev predicted we would have it one day because we were going to, it's going to infiltrate. They're like terrorists. Terrorists will wait whatever amount of time. Look, at 9/11 wasn't a weekend decision. That took years. They're patient. Infiltrate the government, infiltrate the education system. That's where the biggest obvious thing is, because we're putting kids through school with these incredibly mushy-headed, totally wrong-headed ideas about, well, you got some great commies running the teachers union, like in Chicago and stuff. So they have no idea. They didn't teach that. We learned American history. We were told it's a great country. We were told you can be a millionaire. Your dads fought in World War II so you could be free to have a great life. And that's what we were taught. I don't know when that key turned, when that worm turned, whatever you want to call it. But this anything less than a positive attitude about the country. Look, nobody criticized Barack Hussein Obama more than I did, but I didn't criticize the country.
right, you're still proud to be an American. And
Yeah, and I figure, we'll find our way. He's going to take it enough in one direction. He's going to overplay his hand, and there will be, and that's how we got Donald Trump. They don't seem to understand that. We mentioned this earlier. They never take a minute to stop and think, how do so many people vote for him? Well, they're all about personality, not about principle. Here's a phone call. Good afternoon.
Hey, this is Mike. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I'm sorry, I turned my radio down. Can you hear me?
Yes. What's on your mind, Mike?
I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble with this flip phone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. I was just going to say, isn't it ironic how everything has totally twisted? I'm 61. Our parents were scared to death of commies.
Yeah.
I mean, we were afraid of Cuba. We were afraid of the Russians and everything. And now, see how things are turning out.
that was the premise of the Vietnam War, right? We were afraid of communism. We thought it was a domino. If they fell, then so went the rest of the world. And but you're right.
Exactly.
How's it working out in Cuba, which is totally dark now that they have no energy grid? And where's Russia? Why isn't Russia saving them? They're communists.
Right, exactly, right. Why would, I don't know. Well, apparently they didn't have parents or grandparents that had that fear that we had back then. I don't know.
It just, again, few things in this life bug me more than hypocrisy. And you've had prominent Democrats like the fat bastard governor of Illinois, Timmy Waltz, and others use Nazi to describe ICE, Donald Trump, throwing this word around. Now they got an actual Nazi who probably won't be running for the Senate in Maine much longer, but he still is as of this moment. And We fought wars against this. Why are the Republicans not doing a better job of educating these mushy-headed people under the age of 30 who are looking into this and embracing this idea? Why aren't they reminding people that socialism was the official, that was part of the term Nazi, National Socialist Party of the German Republic? Why are they not reminding people of that? That's where Hitler was. And that's why they always point, because they point and there's three pointing back. They're the Nazis. That's why. Anyway, thanks for the phone call.
Socialist Republic.
Yes. Yeah. And we fought wars to free people from that. We've eliminated that type of government almost completely from South America, yet it's walking into New York City and Minneapolis and Michigan and Colorado now, too. They've got somebody in Denver. That place must be stoned 24/7 to do some of the things they do. There's nothing good about it. Nothing in a redemptive nature. Thank you for the call. Here's a moment with Greg Gutfeld that's funny. Yeah. 4 times they've tried to kill Donald Trump. And what did I hear? I heard this on this radio station. We just need to find people with better aim. And what would that accomplish exactly? What horrible thing is he doing to us as Americans right now that we've got to put an end to? Trying to cut our taxes, setting up accounts for our babies so they'll have money when they're older. Look, we just have gotten so sucked into the personality. Yeah, he can rub you the wrong way. And there are times when I wish, please stick a cork in it, sir. You know, that's not going to work well for you. That's not what you need right now. But the policies, what's wrong with that? I don't think people understand what freedom really is. And there is none. You mentioned the conversation you had with the guy in Norway.
Yeah.
Tell us that story again.
Yeah, it was just they were just hearing about their soccer, players, how they're enjoying being in America. And then like I said, we went to give him a tip. He was a hiker, a guide that we went climbing up to Pulpit Rock, and at the end we tried to give him a tip, and he's like, no. He's like, he give me $10, $7 it's going to go to the country, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we have a 70% income tax. I'm like,
but free healthcare, right?
Free healthcare, and then their kids go to college for free. But hey, no real hustle mentality because it's a forever middle class,
We got kids that go to college free here with lotteries.
Yep.
You don't need a tax. If people want to pay that, participate, and it builds enough revenue to offer free tuition to in-state, not to foreigners. God, we just can't seem to have enough of those.
The one that upset me recently is, Trump fought very hard to get a transgender ban in sports.
Yes.
So men playing in women's sports, and it got signed. And then, Newsom comes right out and said, well, that's not going to apply to California. I'm like, how can any politician stand up? Like, I don't know if he has daughters or not. I haven't done the research, but would you want your daughter playing against a man in any, competition?
No, and I don't want her in a locker room where she has no choice at looking at a naked man. I don't care.
I think these women should boycott any, event where there is a transgender to like stand up for it. That's one way to end it.
Honestly, I think a huge percentage of these so-called transgenders are perverts looking for cheap thrills. Why would you? Let me ask you this.
Or they're mediocre men and sick of losing, so they gotta compete against women to win.
But even that, how would you justify that? How could you live with yourself if you're, well, I'm not good enough to compete against men or make our team, so let me see how I do against the girls.
It's a mental illness, either which
It-
way you look
it
at
is
it. And
a
it's
mental
just, I don't know how a politician can stand up for that. So that was really upsetting when I read that.
And so many, oh God, what do you see this movie, the Odyssey? Before you get sucked into going to that, you might want to watch The Critical Drinker on YouTube. He's done and he's absolutely 100% right. The movie's casting and every other decision was made strictly on woke principles. There's no authenticity in that. It may make you feel good, but you're talking about a literary classic, and it's totally fender bending the rules in the casting of the film. And one of the, it's not the star, but there's a tranny in this thing, female to male. I don't know how far along that is, but they just look wrong. And this person is like 5'1" tall and taking on the world, you know. It just, and to prove what?
Yeah. You know, obviously I'm a man of faith, and God created us all in a unique masterpiece. And first one to want to change that, what God gives us it's just upsetting. And
yeah,
I hate to see that people are so in a place where they feel they've got to mutilate their body to ail whatever mental illness that they're dealing with. And I just wish people found a pathway to get help other than to change their gender.
If you really are a transgender, if you're stuck in the wrong body, well, start by showing us you want to lose the equipment, because they're not. And there have been so many reports of these trans being imposed on, girls' teams, and they're in the locker room and they're naked with the girls and they're getting aroused.
Right.
That's not a tranny. If you really believe you're a girl, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, there is scientifically a very small case of, hermaphrodites or, a chromosome imbalance. But I mean, it's like such a small percentage compared to the number of cases you're seeing out there with people doing gender. It's tough.
I
but
think
the politicians got to stand up for it, where they're not allowing children to be subject to that, teaching it in schools,
You got to get a signed note to get an aspirin in school, but if a kid wants to change genders, they don't have to tell the parents about that.
Right. I'm glad Newsom's term is ending. I'm not a fan.
I hope it ends in jail.
I have relatives that live in California, and they are not happy with him.
How do they live with that?
Yeah.
Knowing that your gas prices are $1.50 or $2 higher than everywhere else just because of your government. Your taxes.
Yeah.
Senator Tuberville, when he becomes governor, he said, I am going to be bringing accountants in with me. We're going to root the waste out. He wants to doge the state. He wants to eliminate the state income tax. And he's going to start, if there's law enforcement issues in towns like Montgomery, he said the cavalry's coming.
It'll be nice when he lives here to actually have him in the studio as opposed to call in. So I hope he's actually able to come in and sit down. And
I believe we're going to have something on a regular basis.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
And we need that.
Absolutely. He's not afraid. I love the fact he's so outspoken. And when he talks about the left, you can tell that even knowing what he knew going into becoming a United States senator, the shock of actually being in that system and seeing people that won't do the right thing. They're not interested in the 80-20 issues like the Save America Act. And it's got to be an incredible test of mental health.
Yeah, I'm sure it's disheartening thinking you can go in and
there's no common sense at all. And Senator Tuberville is very much a common sense kind of guy. All right, we're at 537. We're going to take a quick look at the road. Sky has Blue Water News. Rich's forecast coming up.
We've had a little bit of rain in the area, and we're still very busy. 85 northbound out of Montgomery, especially around Jackson Hospital to Ann, Bell to Taylor to Chantilly, always a slow go there. 65 northbound out of Montgomery and 231 to Wetumpka, also busy everywhere. A lot of cars on the road, a couple of minor accidents, nothing really affecting traffic flow. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off a new Nissan Frontier. Add the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell Trey Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Jackson Hospital has reached an agreement with Blue Cross of Alabama, allowing the hospital to remain open. No details of the deal were immediately released by either party, but higher reimbursement rates are likely included. The agreement is contingent on the city and county agreeing to sign a letter of support. No other specifics were given. Montgomery police are investigating a weekend shooting in the Midtown area. The shooting happened around 2 a.m. Sunday in the 2600 block of Zelda Road, where an adult male was wounded by gunfire. The unidentified victim was taken to a local hospital in serious condition. No word on suspects or motive. A man water tubing on Lake Martin was injured after being struck by a boat's propeller. The incident happened Saturday afternoon near Big Kalijah Creek, where 25-year-old Stuart Holmes was struck by a pontoon boat propeller as he was being pulled from the water. Holmes was rushed to UAB Hospital for treatment. His current condition remains unknown. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Tonight, Hallmark's Christmas in July celebration continues with Christmas at the Beach. She's a gorgeous country singer from a small town with a paralyzing fear of the ocean and an old pickup truck that left her stranded in Malibu. He's a gorgeous LA County lifeguard with a washboard stomach and lucrative side hustle selling chum to the producers of TV's Shark Week. Will looking hot prevail over that unavoidable fishy smell, or is their dream all wet? Come on, Spicoli. It's a Hallmark movie. It's Christmas at the Beach, tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. It is a different weather pattern in that the temperatures will be down just a tad, but radar will be much more active. High temperature in the lower 90s today with the sun and cloud mix and scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. They tend to fade out at night. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, same thing. A good bit of sun, high in the lower 90s, and scattered random showers and storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
5:45, grab you down. Tom Moore, our Monday sidekick, back with us after a European vacation. I have been to Europe. In fact, I made both trips within 2 weeks of each other. That was a bit of a just went to London first. No, went to Paris first. That was a 5-day, 4-night thing. There are attendant stories to that I really don't like to tell because there's no excuse. Absolute nightmare. My mother was dying at the time. She was in a coma in Chicago, and I had this broadcast we're doing in Paris, and I just had a feeling I'm going to get over there and I'm going to be called back to Chicago. But I made stupid choices, and I started drinking. And I was pretty buzzed when the car came to pick us up to go to Miami International Airport for the flight on Air France. And I left my bag with my passport, my traveler's checks, my cash, wallet, ID, everything. Did not get on the plane with me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So we get to Paris. Fortunately, the liaison for Air France was able to get me with the prefect of police in the airport, and they let me in. But I had to go to our embassy and get a temporary passport.
Wow.
But I still had no money. This was not the way to do it. Got to put a damper on it. And could have been a much nicer time if I had just been in a better mental space.
I have not been to Paris, but two of our friends just went and they just fell in love with the city. And my aunt and uncle, he had to move over there for like 5 or 6 years. His company sent him there to work and they loved it. But did you enjoy it?
I love the Eiffel Tower. You know, it's funny when you see a famous building because we all saw, everybody knows about the Eiffel Tower. When you're a kid, you learn about the Eiffel Tower. And it's the symbol of France. In fact, that was only supposed to be a temporary structure.
Huh.
Yeah, they were built it for, I think, a World's Fair in 1889, and they were going to tear it down, but it was too cool to tear down. So the people said no. And there, at least at that time, the government listened. Went to some great restaurants, went to the Louvre and saw Mona Lisa.
Nice.
And all of that was very cool. But the whole time I felt like such a total dipstick for
bumming cash off friends.
That's
funny you mentioned traveler's checks because that's a thing of the past. I haven't heard traveler's checks in decades.
That was the only time I ever bought them for a trip.
Oh, wow.
And I was ready. I had everything. I mean, and somehow the woman that came to pick me forgot to ask me to double check. Are you sure? I swear I thought I had the bag, but I was already in the bag, so to speak. So that was a nightmare. But the embassy was really cool about getting me the temporary passport. Of course, this is all pre 9/11. I don't know what would happen. I think today
you couldn't even get on the plane without a passport.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if you made it to the other country, you would be sent right back. See, they call that deporting. When you don't have credentials, you just get sent right back. Well, you go to another country. For some reason here, no, stick around. Start a family. Have a baby here and make it an American citizen. They're actually promoting tourism birth now all along the Texas border.
Wow.
Hospitals and stuff like that. So this is the story from the Sun I mentioned earlier about the soccer team. Belgium are ready to ask Sports Ultimate Court to boot the USA out of the World Cup if they lose to a team including Folarin Balogun on Tuesday. So we win the game. I thought the Ultimate Soccer Court was FIFA, that they'd
There's
already...
a governing body of sports above FIFA.
Really?
Yeah. That I learned about today. And
so this is totally possible.
yeah.
What kind of crap is that? If FIFA isn't the ultimate authority, this is their event. What's the name of this governing body above them? I'm curious. That sounds awfully bizarre.
Because the way it was reported today is that if they were worried that if they didn't reverse the call, that it would go above FIFA, and it would make them look bad. But yeah, it's crazy how it should have. Like I said, it should have never been a red card.
Yeah.
And so it would be funny if you polled all the Belgian players and said, "Was this deserving of a red card?" And they would probably say no.
Well, if they really believe in their team,
yeah,
they want to beat the best USA team they can put on the field.
I would not want to win against a team that didn't have their full strength.
So let's see. The Red Devils are furious after Trump's personal intervention saw FIFA rip up their own rule book to allow.
They didn't rip up their own rule book. It's in the rule book that says that they can do what they did. So
yeah. Belgians' indignation went off the scale even further when a FIFA committee ruled their protest inadmissible because they were not a party to the original decision. This gets very complicated.
Yeah.
This is like politics in sports.
It's just like you said, anything associated with Trump, the left is always instantly angered. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like you've got to.
It's a mental.
The leader of the free world looking after his people and his team. Like, hey, we were done an injustice, okay?
Yeah.
And he's trying to right a wrong. So maybe the left wants America to lose in the World Cup, like they want us to lose in Iran. And
I couldn't help. I watched Lunch with Rich. We watched a little bit of the Boston Harbor for the July celebration, and it was very impressive. But I'm thinking, this is one of those a-hole cities that has an Asian socialist mayor who is all about illegal immigration and all the other the disasters that come with it. And I'm thinking, this is mighty hypocritical for you to be paying tribute to Paul Revere, the founding fathers, who sacrificed their lives, blood, and treasure to free us from the despots of England. Taxation without representation And yet, I just found that to be a rather galling contrast or contradiction of what was being celebrated. And it's not the only place. You got a frickin' commie running Chicago, dragging that city down. They can't even keep the Bears in Chicago.
Nope.
That's a special level of ineptitude there. Anyway, there is reason for concern regarding the integrity of the competition, political interference in sporting matters, and the credibility of football, and blah, 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 blah. What are the people saying in the comment section? I'm just a casual observer, but here's what I've read so far. FIFA had already started the red card review process before Trump made a request. 2, the FIFA review is based on a rules infraction by the referee using video replay to override the no call on the field. Most of the articles I read seem to be clickbaiting, posturing, much like soccer in general. No offense, it's comical to watch all the acting talent on the field. Now it's boiled over into the viper pit of political media. I love that term, the viper pit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I don't think Trump should have been involved. It seems low class and cowardly for Belgium to threaten legal action. They are obviously terrified of trying to guard our player. Somebody else says, LOL, considering FIFA is the governing body and they're the ones who made the decision, the USA isn't getting thrown out of anything. We'll see. The game is a little more than an hour away. Hope
Excited.
everybody- Yes. It was a good time watching it.
I'm glad I
tonight.
got my mowing done earlier. Thanks, Rich.
Normally, Montgomery Paint and Body brings you the Idiocracy on Monday, but it'll return on Thursday with David Blackman. So they were proud to bring you Tom Moore today, and I was very, very glad you were back in town.
It was good to catch up. It's been a while, and I knew we had a bunch to talk about.
I know you got to live your life. Yeah, what's going on in the city? Oh, man, very passionate last week, especially with the young married couple that got caught in the crossfire in their own home.
I think they're going to try and get them to speak at the city council meeting tomorrow to share their story, or at least Bo as a representative. So
Yeah.
I think the people of Montgomery are finally rising up and seeing that we need a true leader, that we are not being led in a path of prosperity that we deserve.
No, and a mayor who clearly is a leftist thinker and hasn't exactly been forthcoming about his own personal life either. This will be our final traffic update before we say goodnight.
Still pretty busy all over the area this afternoon, especially 85 northbound Bell to Taylor.